This Sunday, December 1st, marks the beginning of Advent. Now, the word Advent has to do with the arrival of a notable person. And so in many churches and traditions, Christmas is called the Advent season because it has to do with the arrival of Jesus Christ into our world. But Jesus came with a purpose: to seek and to save the lost. And therefore, Advent has to do with the mission of God. And as followers of Christ, you and I have been commissioned by Jesus to join him in that mission. God wants to use every one of us to proclaim the coming of Jesus and to share our hope in him. You know, being on mission with God is an adventure. When you discover how God can use you, it can change your perspective on everyday life. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you have meaning and purpose. Daily work and routines that may seem boring and mundane can be transformed into something exciting as we see God at work. So each Sunday in December, we're going to hear a short message to help each one of us to engage in this mission. Now, there are 5 Sundays in December. So we will look at 5 things that Jesus practiced, 5 ways that he engaged with people that I hope we can learn from. And to do that, we're going to use an acronym that we've used before, which is the word bless. Because as God's people, we have been blessed so that we can be a blessing to others. So how can we be a blessing? Well, first, it begins with prayer. That's the B in bless. I know it's not perfect, but it gets better. And everything does begin with prayer. And we see that in the Gospels, you know, where Jesus often withdrew to pray. And if we're going to engage in God's mission, then we also need to begin with prayer, because we need his help, his guidance, his power to engage in his mission. And that comes through prayer. Then there's L. L is for listen. Spend time listening to people. Ask them to share their story. Seek to understand. Jesus often did that by asking questions. And sadly, you know, many Christians today are known for talking without listening. So let's follow Jesus and be good listeners. E is for eat. Jesus was known for eating and drinking with people from all walks of life. And it was one of the biggest grievances that the Pharisees had against Jesus, that he spent so much time befriending and eating with people who were often shunned by the religious establishment. So if we want to be on a mission with Jesus, then it might mean sharing a meal with others. The first S is for serve. Serving others characterized the life and ministry of Jesus. He said he came to serve. And when we spend time with people, building friendships and listening to their stories, then we might find out how we might best serve them and what needs we might be able to meet. And then the final S is for story. Once we've built the relationship and have listened and served people, demonstrating our love for them, we will find that we have plenty of opportunity to share our own stories, especially our story of faith and God's story. These 5 practices are things that we can all do. I mean, who doesn't eat? It's just a matter of being purposeful with our time and choosing to share our lives with others, just like Jesus did. And if we will do that, then many, many more people will get to experience God's blessing in their lives through knowing Jesus. Bless. It's our sermon series for this Advent season, and may it motivate us to be a blessing to our families, friends and neighbours in 2025.